We're just talking JBHT this afternoon. They've got some earnings, but what, are you more focused on the tech stuff that's been leading the way?
Well, let's talk about the JB Hunt. Okay, now it is a play. I'll trade any market anytime as long as I can control my risk. I can get in and I can get out when I want. Now, obviously we've got an event coming out after the close. So as an options trader, I'm looking at the markets, and the markets are telling me there's about a 5% measured move priced into this stock. That's what the options say. Now that's saying the magnitude, not the direction. So it could be 5% up, 5% down. That's already priced in. So if there's a less of a move than that, and you're an options trader, then you're not going to cover your costs, obviously. So in the longer term, I like this. I'm a longer term trader using options. I would think that JB Hunt is going to have a pop here. It's been trading and making a base here recently. So between 95 and 115, and we're at the midpoint right now at 105. I like this bottoming formation. But the problem is, if I put on a position now, today the volatility is heightened. The volatility in the April options is about 44% versus the May options 28%. This is not the time as an options trader. You want to do this going into the earnings, and then they fatten up in volatility because there's that event movement risk. So maybe after this happens, I'll look at JB Hunt next week, next month for further on out.
Got it. All right. I knew you had a truck trade in there, Alan. I knew it. All right. Let's talk big picture, though, okay? Because what we know, it has been jamming to the upside, the market as a whole, NASDAQ as well. You got your eyes on Facebook. Tell me what's going on, Alan. Can they continue their own rally off the lows?
Forgotten Facebook. Now let's remember, this company made $7 billion last quarter and has over 2 billion users. Okay, they're not going anywhere. They've had their troubles. Obviously, they're a distressed stock, but at these levels, it's been an impressive comeback. Now, let's remember, Facebook fell from 220 down to 120, so 170 is the midpoint, and we've achieved getting above that midpoint of this action over the last year. Now, if you look in the big picture, we're trading between 160 and 180 over the last 2 months. A breakout above 180 sends it quickly to 200. Let me mention somebody that's gotten our attention, Apple. The charts on Apple and Facebook almost mirror each other. We have not had the same recovery in Facebook that we have in Apple. Now, obviously, Apple's led the way, and we talked about this many weeks before. That was a macro market barometer, the fact that it was going to recover half of that drop from the top. And now, Apple's only 10% off its all-time highs.
All right, so you've got this move that's been happening across this whole suite of companies, right? The FANG names have been coming back. They're not at the highs like the S&P 500, but they're getting closer. Are you down them at all, Alan, the fact that they're not notching their own records at the same time as the broader benchmark?
That's why I view this as an opportunity. If you look at tech is up 30% off that lows. If we have a full V recovery, which we've talked about in the markets, we've got about 25% more upside in stocks. So, and that's happened every time in history. So looking at this, I'm looking at the May 170 calls. May 170 calls are trading for about 12 or 13. They're $8 or $9 in the money. So this is using the options as a way to position a stock substitution, a way to be long from 170, which is a key support level. Now, this May option has some time. Now, we do have an event, to come full circle back to JB Hunt. We do have an event here. We have earnings coming out on the 24th. Now, I'm not necessarily looking to hold all the way to the May expiration, but I have enough time to be right here. I'm looking to see what happens in the next week and a half or 10 days, because oftentimes markets will move in anticipation of the earnings, and I'm looking for that to be an elevation in this stock. And like I said, I'm looking for a breakout here above 180, and then it's off to the races.